Who wants to learn English? Is it you? Maybe it is. Here we are back together again on a lovely autumn day. A lovely view out of my studio window, but I don't have time for that because I'm here now presenting live from the birthplace of the English language. This is, of course, English Addict coming to you live from, oh my goodness, it's England. It is. We are live. Right now. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope you are feeling okay. Are you happy? I hope you are feeling happy today as well. Here we go again. Yes, we are back once more, live. A lot of people still ask, Mr. Duncan, are you really live on YouTube? It is live right now. I am here with you at just 2 minutes after 2 o'clock here in England. I hope you are feeling good today. My name is Mr. Duncan. There it is down there. And I talk about the English language. I would imagine that you've already guessed. That is what I do, because that is what I do. I talk about the English language. I am crazy about English, and maybe you are very interested or keen to learn English as well. So that is why we are all here today. I hope you've had a good week so far. My week has been okay, I have to say. Average. Something that is average. Nothing amazing, nothing terrible, just average. We often say that something is average when there is no change, or if something is as usual. An average day, an average time, an average feeling. I'm not excited, but then I'm not unhappy either. You may have noticed today I'm looking very smart. It's been a very long time since I've actually put my tie and my shirt on for you, but today I've made some extra effort because today we are talking all about a wonderful subject. If there is one topic that many people write to me about, they often say, Mr. Duncan, can you talk more about business or business English? Well, you might be pleased to hear that in my early days of teaching, I did, in fact, teach business English. When I was living in China, one of my main subjects that I taught or had to go through with many of my students, including adult students as well, was business English. Please don't fall asleep. Please don't tune away, because as you know, I like to make all of this fun and interesting. I know some of you might be thinking of going to sleep when I say business English, but you might actually be surprised to find how much there is in business English that we use in our normal day-to-day lives. So don't go away, because there is lots to look at today. We have a lot to get through. We also have the live chat. Can I say a big hello to you watching today on the live chat? It's nice to have you here as well, because without you, there would be none of this, of course. A lot of people these days are setting up or creating their own businesses. It has become a very big thing. Now, I remember many years ago, I did have friends who started their own business. They had a small venture that they created. Some of them were successful, and some of them were not quite as successful as they planned. Business venture, you try, you attempt to create your own business. You start your own business. It would appear to be something that is very popular nowadays in the world. Many people are creating a very small business. So I would say that there are many people these days who are running their own business. Quite often those particular businesses will be small, they will be independent, maybe only one person will be involved in that business. That is what we are talking about today. Can I say hello to the live chat again? Hello Vitas, you are first today. Congratulations for being first. We also have Mosen is here as well. Hello Mosen. Hello also to Maruzio is here as well. And we have the one, the only Luis Mendez is here today. Hello Luis. Nice to see you here as well on this Wednesday. Already we are halfway through the week. So far this week has been rather average. Nothing has happened, nothing to talk about. Beatrice is here. Hello Beatrice, it's nice to have you here as well. Also Palmyra, Christina is also with us as well. We are talking about business today, words and phrases connected to business, and that is the reason why I am wearing my rather smart tie. You often find that people who are in business, or especially people who represent a certain company, quite often will wear this type of clothing. A nice white shirt and a smart looking tie. Very often worn by people who are in business, or maybe they are working for someone else as a representative. Also hello to, we have some interesting names coming up today. Hello Priyanshu, hello to you as well. We also have, now I have some Arabic on my live chat. I can't read Arabic, but can I say a big hello to you as well? Thank you very much. Palmyra says, Mr. Duncan, you look festive and also a bit official. I think I look smart and professional today. Normally I wear my t-shirt that has my big logo on the front. Logo. Now there is an interesting word. Logo. Quite often if you have a business or some sort of brand, you will often have a logo as well. And there is my logo. You can see my little smiling face, and also up there going around and around above my microphone. So quite often a business will have some sort of logo or brand as well. I'm sure you can think of many different types of logo. In fact, I remember a few months ago we did have a little contest on here. I was testing Mr. Steve, and we did show some well-known logos from different brands, and we were trying to work out what they were and who they belonged to. But this is nothing to do with Christmas. This is nothing to do with any situation or event that may or may not have happened over the past 24 hours. Nothing to do with that. You'll be pleased to hear. Thank you very much. I'm looking good today. I'm always pleased to hear that. There is nothing worse than someone saying, "You look terrible. You look awful. Are you okay? Are you ill? Is there something wrong for you? Should I call a doctor? Or an undertaker, perhaps?" Lewis says, "When I started working here in France, having my own business was something I had always dreamt about." Yes, it would appear that many people aspire to having their own business. To aspire. You dream of something. A dream that you actually want to make real. You aspire to that particular thing. You want to create a new life for yourself. Aspiration is how we describe it. So as a noun, it is aspiration. You aspire towards something you've wanted to do. Maybe you want a different level of lifestyle. Maybe you want to earn more money. Maybe you want to create your own business. We all have aspirations. We all have something that we aspire to. And yes, you are right. Lewis, you are right. It is great to have something that you dream of, and then you are able to actually do it in real life. It doesn't happen for everyone. So if it does happen for you, you are very lucky. Because for every successful person, there are many, many others who are not successful. They often fail. More about that later on. We will be talking about that a little bit later on. Hello also to who else is here. I don't want to miss anyone out on the live chat because I will feel guilty forever. Oh, India. Hello, Priyanshu, who is watching in India. Can I say a big hello to you as well? Did you have fun last week? Because it was your big celebration in India, celebrating Diwali. And I hope you had a super time doing that as well. It is nice to have your own business. I would imagine there are many reasons why a person would want to have their own business. I would say one of the biggest reasons must be having a certain amount of freedom. Now, of course, even if you have your own business, if you are running your own business, it still takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. However, quite often if you run your own business, if you have your own company, quite often you can decide how much work you do, especially if you are getting other people to do the work for you. It is a dream for many people to have others working for them. So I would imagine that one of the reasons why a person would want to have their own business is also to have a little bit more freedom. If your business is successful, then you can employ other people. You can have other people to help you, which means you don't have to do so much work. Freedom. I think that is the one. You have your freedom, you have your independence, and you can do that particular thing the way you want to do it. So you don't have to answer to anyone else. You don't have to listen to your boss complaining because you are the boss. It's true. So that is what we are talking about today. Lots of things to look at connected to business. Can I also mention something that is happening this weekend? We have Remembrance Sunday coming up next weekend. A lot of people will be commemorating the end of World War One, and of course all the other wars that have taken place, those that have ended and those that are still continuing. And this is something we do every year. We like to have a commemoration. Normally on the 11th of November we will have a special commemoration. Many people will display or they will wear a red poppy, which is a symbol of peace and the end of war. So this is something that happens every year, and it is happening right now in the UK. And this was something that I filmed just 3 or 4 days ago. And you can see there are many red poppies that have been made by hand. 1944, we are celebrating, or should I say commemorating. You don't really celebrate something that is sad, but you might commemorate it. Of course, you also might celebrate peace when it arrives. Not that we get it very often, unfortunately. So that is something that's happening at the moment here in the UK, and it will all build up to next weekend. Hello also to, can I say hello to Triple A? Hello Triple A. I don't recognise your name. It's very unusual. Where does it come from? And why? And how? And who? So prepare yourself. We are about to talk all about the world of business, business words, business phrases. You might be surprised to find out just how many words and phrases are connected to that particular subject that we also use in our day-to-day lives. So don't go away. Keep it right here. English Addict is with you, live from England.
I'm a big boy now.
English Addict is with you. Yes, it is Wednesday. I hope you are having a super duper Wednesday. Wherever you are in the world, I hope it is a good one. And we are here together again, learning English, talking about English. That's what I do. I'm an English addict, and I have a feeling maybe you are one of those as well. Here we go. We're going to look at a big subject today. It is one that I've had many requests for. Mr. Duncan, please, can you tell us all about business English? Okay, I can do it. I can do it right now, in fact. The words and phrases connected to business. Do you like my whiteboard? Just like we are all sitting together in a business meeting, and there I am with my whiteboard, ready to tell you all about my plans for the business. So when we talk about business, well, of course, there are many ways of expressing it. The most basic, generally speaking, as a noun, the word business is an occupation, a profession, or a trade. A person's line of work is their business. So the thing they do, the thing that they are specialized in, maybe a certain skill, a certain field, is your business. Your business is the meat trade. Maybe you are a butcher. Maybe you are a person who sells cosmetics. That is your business. The business you are in is cosmetics. You sell cosmetics to ladies and, of course, men. Let's not face it. Let's not try to ignore the fact that men also these days do like to use cosmetics. You might have finance business. You might have your field of expertise in finance, dealing with people's money, dealing with their business. So maybe your business is helping someone else to run their business. Yes, that does make sense. Perhaps goods delivery. Your business is goods delivery. Let's face it, these days, I think it must be one of the big booming businesses to have or to be in is delivery services, to deliver things. These days, everyone wants to have something delivered to their door or delivered directly to them. Anything. So you might buy something on the internet. You might even order some food, some hot food. Maybe your favourite fast food will be delivered to your door. So we have it here, and I'm sure you have it there as well. There are lots of companies, lots of businesses now that will deliver things. Anything, in fact. There are some shops now that you can order things from, and they will deliver it very quickly. So I'm not talking about food, I'm talking about other things as well. So it is possible these days to have things delivered to your door or to your business very quickly. So goods delivery is something we often talk about when we are discussing having things delivered to your house or to your business. Logistics. So when we talk about goods delivery, the actual term that people will often use is logistics. Getting something from one place to another, from one area to another. The logistics of doing something. And we often think of goods delivery when we are looking at that particular thing. So the word business has many, many uses. In this particular sense, we are using it as a noun. The purchase and sales of goods for profit. So the purchase and also the sale of goods for profit. Let's face it, if you have a business, you are normally doing it because you want to make money. It is a normal process. It is something that most people desire when they decide to create their own business. The first thing they will think about, or one of the first things they will think about, is, can I make a profit from it? The provision of a service in return for payment can also be business. So the provision is the giving of something or the offering of something. To provide something is provision. The provision of a service in return for payment. So in this particular situation, we are looking at things that people do for you. Instead of providing an actual product, the product is your service, something you do for someone. So not something that you are making or creating, but a thing you do for other people is a service. Business as a noun, a person, partnership or corporation engaged in commerce, manufacturing or a service. So again, when we talk about commerce, it is something that you have to promote, put forward, quite often a business. One of the first things you have to do when you create a new business is to promote it. Commerce is the interaction of sales, payment, and all of those things in between. Manufacturing, of course, manufacturing means producing something. You manufacture, you make something. Obviously coming from the word manual, which means to do something by hand. Quite often things are made by hand. These days, of course, many things are made by machines. Or, of course, we have a service. A type of service is something you are doing for other people. You do that thing for someone. You provide a service. A profit-seeking enterprise or concern is business. A business is something that you do. A business is something you try to have. A business is something you run or create. And you can see already this is turning out to be a very big subject. Also, a building or site where commercial work is carried out or on. As a factory, store or office. A place of work is your business. The place, the building, the premises, the actual location is the business. His business is on the corner of the high street. That is the place. That is the premises. That is the place where the business is conducted. We often refer to this as a business premises. So the word premises generally means a place that you own, a place that you work in, a place that you live in, your premises, the area, a designated area for a certain activity, quite often privately owned. The word business can be the cause of concern or worry. A situation might become your business. So in this sense, we are using the word business in a different way. The word business can be the cause of concern or worry. A situation might become your business if it affects you. Something that you are concerned about, something that becomes part of your life, becomes your business. Something that you are concerned with, concerned about, or worried about. It is your worry. It is your business. So the thing you are concerned about is your business. So in this sense, we are not using it to mean a company or any type of commercial business. It is something that concerns you generally. Maybe something that you are concerned about with a friend or a relative. You are concerned. You want to make that problem your business. You want to find out more about it. You are worried about it. You are concerned about that particular thing. The opposite can also be true. It is none of your business. It does not concern you. So if something is none of your business, it means it is not your concern. You do not have to think about it. Don't worry about it. Don't ask about that thing. It is none of your business. It does not concern you. We've reached that point. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. As a euphemism, the word business can mean poop. Where does your dog normally do its business? Your dog has just done its business on my new carpet. Business can be used as a euphemism. So this is a loose term that we can use. Moving on. As an adjective, thank goodness for that. As an adjective, we can describe something as being in the form of a business. Maybe a place where business is often carried out, a business town, a business district. So you are describing the type of area that particular place is. Lots of places, lots of shops, lots of offices, people conducting business. We can use the word as an adjective if we are talking about the way a certain area is or operates. Before a business can be created. We've all been there. I've been there as well. I'm sure you have. Maybe in the past you've thought of creating your own business, having your freedom to do whatever you want. Other people will be working for you. You will be the one who calls the shots. To call the shots means to give instructions. You are the one who is telling other people what to do. You call the shots. Before a business can be created, you need an idea. Definitely. We all have one. We all have a business idea in our minds. I'm sure right now you could come up with a good idea for a business. Or not. You have to have a strategy. The word strategy is an outlaid plan, something that you are looking at to actually do or carry out. You need a strategy, a movement that is planned, something that you have to plan ahead before you begin, a strategy. We often describe it as a business plan. So if you want to put forward your business idea, normally you have to have some sort of business plan. You need your plan before you can actually go ahead and create the business. Of course, quite often, one of the things that I always think is a good thing to have is advice. If you can find a place that will give you good advice on how to set up or create your own business. So many people who decide to create their own business or set up their own business quite often will go somewhere for advice. Here in the UK, there are many wonderful organisations that will give you advice on how to create a business. They will give you lots of helpful advice. In fact, many years ago, when I moved to my little studio base in Wolverhampton, I had to set up Hat for Rent Productions as a business because I had no choice. You have to. It is the law. So you can't just have a business or do something as a business without telling other people first. You have to go through lots of different things and lots of formalities must be followed before you can actually run your business. So I did find a very wonderful organisation that gave me lots of advice and help. And this occurred over many weeks. So I would go along and we would have these wonderful sessions talking about all of our ideas. So there was myself, there was other people as well there who were in the same situation as me, and there would be a leader who would give us lots of advice and information. So it was a wonderful experience. It gave me a lot of help and information. So a good source of advice. Get advice, because when you start a business, you are committing yourself to many things. And of course, you need capital. When we talk about capital, we are talking about money. Money that is used, money that is put in place to allow the business to run. Money that will go into the business so as to get it started. So before you even begin your business, you have to have some money in place to start everything off. You can't begin a business, you can't start a business without having some sort of capital, something that you have, a small amount of money that you can put into the business to get it started, to get it going. There are many types of business that can be established. You can establish your own business, you can start your own business, you begin your own business. There are many ways of describing it, and there are many ways of naming all of those different businesses. Areas of business. When we talk about areas of business, we are basically saying types of business, businesses that exist. For example, you might have a retail business. Retail is sales, normally in a shop environment. Of course, these days, because of the internet, you don't need to have a shop. You don't have to have a shop at all. You can just have an internet site or a website and people will order from you, and then you arrange those orders to be delivered. So retail, selling things. You can sell food, clothes, anything really. Something that can be made or created can be sold as goods. Manufacturing. This is something I've already mentioned. Manufacturing, making. You are in the business of making things. So perhaps you don't sell things directly to people. Maybe your business is simply making things. You make them and then you send them out. Of course, you do sell them, but you might be manufacturing something for another company. So you might just be part of that chain. To manufacture is to make or produce. Here in the UK, we used to have the most amazing manufacturing industry all across the UK. Many parts of the UK had their own specialist areas of manufacturing. Certain regions or certain areas would be well known for their manufacturing. You might be involved in a specialist business. Maybe the business you want to create is a specialist business. Maybe you want to be a lawyer, give advice to people about law. A very popular job, a very useful skill, and also one that can make you a lot of money as well. Maybe you can be involved in finance as well. Finance, to be involved in handling people's money. Or maybe you give advice to people about how to invest their money, what to do with their money. We often talk of sectors. So a certain sector is a certain type of business, an area that business covers. Sector, part of something. So your particular business sector will involve a particular thing, a certain type of thing. To enter into business, you first need an idea. As I said earlier, I'm sure you can think of one. Many people these days, they all have a business idea in their heads. Setting up your own business, creating your own product, or maybe inventing something that has never been made before, can be your business. Popular business ideas include having a cafe, setting up your own food business. So maybe you have a cafe or a snack bar or maybe a shop. Those things are very popular as startup businesses. So when we talk about startup, we are talking about a new business. Having your own cafe, your own snack bar, or your own shop. So these are all popular business areas, things that people want to actually do as their business. You might decide to have your business at home. Again, another popular thing right now. A lot of people are running or they are starting their own business where they work from home. They work at home, they do their business at home, they create something at home. Everything they do is based at home. Home business, very popular these days. Perhaps you want to do something creative, maybe making jewellery. A very, very big business. Lots of people. I don't want to say ladies, because there might be some men making jewellery as well. But a lot of women, they become interested in jewellery making, and maybe they can turn that hobby or something they enjoy doing into a business. Maybe you are creating art. I know that I do have a few people here today who are artists, very creative people. Beatrice, I'm looking at you with your painting. So maybe you can create something. Maybe you have an artistic talent. Maybe you can draw or paint. And then you can sell those things. You can sell your drawings. You can get people to buy your paintings. What an amazing thing to do. I really do wish I had some sort of talent that I could sell. I wonder what my talent could be. Did I do all of those? No, I didn't. Self-publishing. Self-publishing. Another big business at the moment. A lot of people are deciding to write and produce and publish their own books. Big business. A lot of people who have a certain skill or a certain ability, they might produce their own book. They create their own magazine even. Self-publishing is another thing that you can start your business as. Here's one. Oh, this is something that I used to do a lot. I don't do so much anymore. Video production. Okay, I still do it, but not as much as I used to. I used to actually do video production for other people as well. I don't do that anymore, even though now and again I do a little bit of video production, but not as much as I used to, because I'm always doing this. I'm always busy here doing this. So this now keeps me very busy. I wouldn't call it a business though. Definitely not. Internet-based businesses. There are many people now who are running businesses based on the internet. They don't have a shop. They don't have any premises. They just do everything on the internet. Very popular. I think also it might be more affordable to have your own business on the internet only. And then you don't have to worry about the price of renting a shop or an office. I have to say, those things can be quite damaging, as I found out to my own peril. Many businesses start with a form of loan. Oh, Mr. Duncan, we are now getting into the really important stuff. Yes, many businesses start with a form of loan or some outside investment. To invest is to put money into something. Quite often, if you want to set up your own business, you will have to have money before you begin. There is always something you have to pay for or spend money on before you can start your business. So you might have to borrow money from the bank. You might have to take a bank loan. It is normal to do that, quite normal. So if you have an idea for a invention or a product or a business, quite often you need some money to start with. You might have an investment loan. So again, you can get this from a bank or, of course, a specialist lender. There are people who will lend money to new businesses, quite often with low interest. So the money that you have to pay back is less, or maybe you can do it over a longer period of time. Of course, shares as well. You can sell parts of the company to someone before you even start. Now, this is rather unusual because quite often you have to present yourself and your idea to other people. So it is a little bit like selling your soul to other people. I'm sure you've seen that TV show. We have a show here called Dragon's Den. I think it's called something else in the United States, but here we call it Dragon's Den. And basically people with their own ideas for business go along and they give a demonstration of their business or their idea. And then hopefully the people who are there sitting in front of them will be willing to invest some money. They might want a share of your new company. So they put money in because they want to eventually get money out of it. More money than they put in. Donations is another one. A lot of people these days rely on donations. It is hard these days to make a living, especially in certain areas. Sometimes you have to rely on donations because maybe you have no choice. Maybe some sort of donation from a Kickstarter campaign or a fundraiser. This is something that's become very big in the area of creating new businesses or new products. So quite often a person will have an idea or a product, they want to make it, and then they offer a chance to invest or to become involved financially in the business. So Kickstarters, it's a very interesting phrase. A Kickstarter is a way of starting a business or putting investment into something so it can begin. We often call it a Kickstarter or just funding for a business. The aim of a business, normally, sometimes, if you're lucky, the aim of a business is to make money. Of course. We all like making money, and if you go into business, quite often you have no choice. You must make some money, unfortunately. You need to make a profit. Profit is the money that you keep for yourself. So maybe you have to pay other people, or maybe you have to buy products, or maybe something you have to pay for. And then after all of that money has been spent, hopefully there will be a little bit of money left for you. That is your profit. You need to avoid debt. Now I have to say this is not always true. You might be surprised to find out that most big businesses have a lot of debt. So even if a business is successful or makes money, they can still be in debt. It is not unusual, but it is always a good idea to avoid getting into debt, owing other people money. You want to try to stay in the black. To stay in the black means to have money. You have money to spend. You have credit in your bank account. And then, of course, you do not want to go into the red. If you go in the red, that means you owe money. You don't have any money for yourself. You owe money. You are losing money. Your bank account is not in the black. It is in the red. You need to make sure that you innovate. Innovate. To innovate is to always plan ahead with new ideas, new things, something new that you want to try. So you always have to innovate. To innovate is to create or recreate or move forward with new ideas, to innovate. To stay up to date is very important if you are in business. To have a business means quite often you have to make sure that you are keeping up with all the other people, especially if you are doing something that many other people are doing as well. So if you have a shop in the high street and maybe there is a person up the high street who is selling the same thing as you, you have to make sure that you stay up to date with what other people are doing. There are many big businesses here in the UK that have failed because they did not stay up to date. They did not stay up to date with all of the different trends or ways of buying things. And of course, you have to be willing to expand. Some people are very happy to have a small business that they don't want to make larger, but most people who have a successful business will quite often expand their business as well. Maybe you only sell 2 or 3 products. Well, maybe in the future you will sell 10 products. You expand your range, you expand the size of your business. So there are many ways of actually looking at that as well. A business is often referred to as a commercial enterprise. It is true. When you set up a business, you are looking towards creating your own commercial enterprise, something that you are going into, something that you want to create, normally to make a profit. Sometimes. A small business. Many small businesses exist nowadays. There are many businesses that are small, maybe just 1 or maybe 2 or 3 people work in that business. Maybe you have a large business. Of course, there are many large businesses around. They do tend to be the successful ones as well. You might also be a sole trader. So this doesn't mean that you are selling shoes. This means that you are on your own. You are a person who has a business, but it is only you running the business. You are the one person running it. You don't have any shareholders. You don't have any other people involved in the business. You are a sole trader. In this particular phrase, sole means one person. A company, of course, quite often you have to register your business. All businesses in the UK have to be registered in some way. So if you are doing something where you might make money from it, you have to create it as a company or as a business. An enterprise, of course, you venture out, you are trying to create a new business. Maybe your business will move on to other things. Maybe one business might become 2 businesses or even 3 or 4 businesses. And of course, venture. The venture is the thing you are setting out to do. You venture, you move into that particular area. You go into business. A business can make money or gain a profit. It is the aim of most people. They want to make a profit. Profit means to gain something. You can profit from something. You gain from something. And of course, unfortunately, a business can also lose money or make a loss. It does happen. It is amazing. Every year, Thousands and thousands of businesses unfortunately fail. So for every one business that is successful, there are many, many others that are not. We often refer to cash flow when talking about the financial aspect of a business. Your cash flow means the money as it comes into the business, as it goes out of the business, and of course what remains for you as profit. So you always need a cash flow in business. Always there has to be a flow of money going through your business. The money coming in, thank you, and the money going out. Ugh. Generally, there must be more coming in than going out. I would say that makes common sense. It's perfect. If you have a business, you definitely need to make sure that you have more money coming in than going out. However, it is possible to have that situation where you are slowly making a loss, you are losing money. It is always advisable to stay within the profit margin. Your margin of profit is what you are making. You always have to have something there that you are making. We often talk about the bottom line. The bottom line is what your company is actually making. You always need to be making something, even if it is just a small amount. So the expenditure is what goes out. We often describe it as the expenditure going out, the money that you have to pay for things yourself from your business. And of course we have the earnings that are described as incoming. So your outgoings and incomings. Quite simply put, really. Good business. A good business is busy, profitable, it is expanding, it has stable continuity. Another important thing, if you are running a business, you have to have continuity. You have to make sure you plan ahead for anything that might happen. And then you have bad business. Bad business, slow, not profitable, stagnant. Now there is a great word. We often hear this word used when we are talking about economics. Stagnant means something is not moving. It is still. Nothing is happening. So if your business becomes stagnant, it means nothing is happening. Maybe you have no customers. Maybe you are making no profit. You are having a very slow time. And of course your business can also be unstable as well. So maybe you have a good day, but then you have a bad day afterwards. Unstable. Certain jobs, certain businesses, certain areas where you want to go into business can be very unstable. If you are selling Christmas trees, that can be quite unstable as a business plan. We have good business and bad business. I'm going to take a quick break so I can do something with my throat. Back in a moment. We are back. Don't worry. Don't panic, everyone. English Addict is with you today as my voice begins to fade away. We are looking at businesses today, making business plans, having a business, whether your business is successful or not. We've been looking at making a profit in your business. We've also been looking at good business and bad business. You might also say that your business, if it is a good business, your business is booming. Your business is booming. It is doing very well. The figures are up. When we talk about your figures, we are talking about the profit, the loss, how much you have to spend to run your business. The figures are up. You are making more profit. Our profits are up. You might have a strong turnover. So there is an interesting phrase, turnover. If something is described as a turnover, it means the cycle of something happening. So in this sense, we are talking about your strong turnover being the amount of money you make over a certain period of time, maybe over a month or perhaps over a year. Quite often, a business will talk about having a strong turnover during the year. Then, of course, you can have bad business. If your business is bad, you can say that business is slacking. Slacking. Something is not strong. Something has become weak. It is slacking. It is becoming loose. It is not as good as it used to be. So you might say that business is slacking. The figures are down. Our profits are down as well. You might have a weak turnover. So here, a strong turnover is good. A weak turnover is bad. You don't want to have a weak turnover. That means you are not making much money. A business might fail. Unfortunately, it is part of life. Not all of us can have success in our lives. I know. I've learnt that one the hard way. A business might fail, to go bankrupt, to go out of business, to close down. Our doors have closed forever. To cease training. Training? No, trading. To cease trading is to stop your business. Your business no longer works. It no longer functions. It is no longer existing as a business. You might have to call in the receiver. You will often hear this when a business is having financial difficulties. They will often call in an advisor, or it might go into administration. That means a group of people will step in and they will oversee or overlook everything. They will see what is happening in the company, and then they will advise on what has to happen next. Normally, if you bring in the receivers, or if your business goes into administration, quite often it's not a good thing. It is not a good thing to have your business go into administration. It normally means the end is coming for your lovely business. A business, of course, might go into liquidation. It means parts of the business are broken off and sold. Maybe If there are 2 or 3 companies that are joined together, maybe part of that company will be sold off, or maybe you sell everything. You liquidate the company, you sell everything. If you have offices, you have to sell all of the furniture and everything in the office. Everything has to be sold to make money. You liquidate something. It's a very interesting word, actually. To liquidate, to end something in a rather dramatic way. Yeah! A business might succeed. It does happen, honestly. Although these days, if you walk down the high street, any high street here in the UK, you will see lots and lots of shops that have closed down. Empty shops. Many towns across the UK. It is a very sad situation. Not only here in the UK, but lots of other places as well. But if a business succeeds, you can say it will boom. The business might succeed. To boom. Business is booming. We are having a great time at the moment with our business. Everything is crazy. We have so many customers. Business is booming. To do great business is to have a lot of customers. Maybe you are able to expand. If a business expands, you normally know it is doing well. You might have high trading. That means you have a lot of customers, a lot of people coming in and out. Your business is doing well. You might also go public. This is something that does happen sometimes, not always with businesses, normally with big businesses or established businesses. They will often go public. They will offer shares in their business. It doesn't happen very often with small businesses, but certainly with big businesses it does happen quite a lot. Here we go. This is the fun part. This is the part I've been looking forward to because we can have some fun here. Mind your own business is a phrase that we use in English. So these are phrases connected to the word business. You might tell someone, mind your own business. If a person is being nosy, maybe they are prying into your private life. You might tell them, mind your own business. Don't be so nosy. Mind your own business. Just take care of your life. Don't be so nosy or pry into people's lives. You should mind your own business. Especially if you have a nosy neighbour. I'm sure everyone has a nosy neighbour nearby. You might have to tell them to mind their own business. Here's an interesting phrase, monkey business. There is some monkey business going on. A deceitful activity or the action of doing something illegal or maybe something that is not legitimate might be described as monkey business. There is some monkey business going on over there. Maybe a scheme or an idea that is dodgy. Something that we describe as dodgy is something that might be illegal or wrong. It might get you into trouble with the police or the authorities. Something that is dodgy. A dodgy scheme might be described as monkey business. Something is going on. There is some monkey business going on. You might get down to business. It is time to get down to business. That means to begin a discussion about something or start a plan or some other activity. So if you say as a phrase, come on, it's time to get down to business, we begin to discuss a certain thing. We start a plan or some other activity. You get down to business. It is time to get serious for a moment. Here's another one. A person might mean business. Oh, he means business. He's serious. To do something with intention in a serious way. We mean business. We have strong intentions. We are approaching something in a serious and, I suppose you would say, in maybe aggressive way. A person who might be aggressive can be described as meaning business. That person means business. I think he's going to come over here and thump me on the nose. He means business. To do something with intent in a serious way. Here's one. If your business has failed, if everything has faded away, you can say that you are out of business. I'm sorry, our shop is closed. We are out of business. Or maybe if your business is slowly starting to fail, we can say that you are going out of business. I'm sorry, I don't think we will be here for much longer. I think I might have to close my business. We are going out of business. Soon we will close. Going bust. It can happen. A business might go bust. Suddenly it can't sustain itself. It has no money. It can't continue. It goes bust. And of course, if you are out of business, it means you have no customers. The writing is on the wall, as they say. That's a great phrase. The writing is on the wall. There is a sign, figurative sign. It is an indication that things are going wrong. We can say that the writing is on the wall. You are going out of business. Another phrase, to go about one's business. If you go about your business, it means you are doing your normal task. You just carry on as normal. Don't stop. Just go about your business. Don't worry about anything else. Just do your normal task. Live your life normally, as you normally would. You just go about your business. Finally, and this is the last one. My goodness, we've had a lot to cover today. The word business originates from Old English, meaning busyness. I wish it was more complex than that, but it isn't. That's it. Basically, it means to be busy, to have a state of being busy, busyness. And there is the word, business. Your business is the thing that keeps you busy. Solicitude is another way of describing business. You are looking for some sort of transaction. When we talk about transaction, we are talking about taking something and then giving something. So maybe you have something to offer, maybe a product. You give that person the product and they give you something in return, normally money. It is a transaction. And of course, attentiveness as well. You are doing something. You are busy. Quite often, if you are running your own business, then you will be busy because you're Business keeps you busy. It is your busyness. And that is it. That was a big one. I deserve a lie down on the bed after all of that, I have to say. I hope you've enjoyed this live stream, this live English lesson. And for those who are wondering, I am back with you on Sunday. Sunday, I'm here again, 2 p.m. UK time is when I'm back with you on Sunday. Don't forget to join me live. Mr. Steve will be here as well on Sunday. We can spend a little bit of time together and maybe we can review all of the wonderful moments of this week. Can you think of any? I will see you on Sunday. By the way, there is a new lesson. A few people have asked about my new lesson. I did put a new lesson on yesterday, although a lot of people seem to have missed it. I think they were watching something else yesterday. If you get my meaning, I think they were distracted by something else. But there is a new lesson on my YouTube channel all about fire, because yesterday was November the 5th. On the 5th of November, we have a special celebration here in the UK. That is all from me for today. I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. Already outside it is starting to go dark. Already it's going dark. Thank you very much for your company. I hope you've enjoyed the past hour and 25 minutes. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it, even though my throat does not want to work today. Thank you very much for your company. See you on Sunday. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of English saying thank you for watching. See you soon. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I hope you have a good one. And of course, until the next time we meet here, whatever your business is, whatever your business you are doing right now happens to be, it is your business. It is none of my business. Ta-ta for now.